Ooh. I managed to hit the bell okay, so that's a step in the right direction. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the October 4th meeting of the Rotary Club of Brentwood. I see that President Stephen Hammers has already left me an Easter egg on his agenda because I had December 4th as our meeting date today. But today is October 4th. Welcome to our meeting. My name is Drew Rogers, and back in the saddle again. It's Gene Autry and all that stuff. So unfortunately, Stephen Hammers is not, our president is not here today, but he is in New York traveling. And so I have gotten called out of the bullpen to lead the meeting today. And so I will call this meeting to order. We're going to start with an invocation by Sandra Lee and then the pledge and four-way test by Jeff Brown before Jennifer Ruane, our club secretary, introduces our guests and visitors. So Sandra, I'll welcome you to the podium.
Good to see you all. If everybody would just, I know, just bring it down here to my level. If everybody would just bow your head with me, please. Father God, we just humbly come before you. Oh boy, just pray that we would just focus our minds, our hearts, and our attentions on you, on your will, on your perfect will. We know that there are so many things going on in each of our lives. We just pray that you'll free us from distraction. And bless us that we might just all unite here for common goals. Pray that you will bring to mind the things that you want us to focus on, that we would be in your will also. I pray for anyone who's struggling with illness, with any other big challenges in life that can take our focus off of you. And I just pray for your covering over us, our families, our travel, our businesses, and mostly just the good intentions and the things that we want to accomplish here together. Today, we pray for your presence in this place. We lift all that we have up to you, Father. We give you the glory. We are grateful for the food that we were able to eat today, and thank you for it. And ask you to bless it to our good. We lift it all up to you, Father, and give you the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please join me in the pledge to our flag and country. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, of God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, second, third, fourth.
Thank you. I misspoke earlier. Jennifer Ruane, our club secretary, will not be introducing guests and visiting Rotarians, but Laura Troop has kindly stepped in and will be introducing our guests and visiting Rotarians.
Yeah, if
Laura.
I could have a couple of Jennifer's inches, that would be great. I even have my big girl heels on, and I can't. I'm still short. So if you can't see me, I'm sorry. I'll just start jumping. Today, as our guests, we have Rob Eichert back with us, who is in the membership pipeline. Be sure.
Welcome, Rob.
If you have not already gotten to know him, please get to know him. Let him know why you're a part of Rotary Club. Let him know what you're passionate about and help him plug into opportunities to serve alongside others in our club. We also have Melissa Smith with us here today. Melissa has been learning about Rotary and the things that Rotary does in the community, and she works with a nonprofit in the area. And so she's just wanting to know how our golf tournament works and is interested in potentially being a future member. We also have Martin
Plumley
here from the Morning Club as a guest today. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And an extra special guest, Harold has brought his daughter, Darcy Copeland, with him today. Do you want to say anything about your?
Sure. This is my daughter, Darcy Copeland. I know some of you know her. She's an Brentwood High School graduate many years ago. She lives in Peachtree Corners, Alabama. I'm sorry, Georgia. Yeah, big Alabama fan. Can't get over it. And she and her husband. She's visiting us this weekend. So good.
Glad you're with us.
Welcome, Darcy. And War Eagle. Well, welcome to all of our guests. Melissa, you've picked a great program to come to learn more about Rotary because our speaker today will share with us all of the things that we do to raise money to do all of the good that we do in the community, which is what the Rotary Club is about. So this is a great program. We are glad to have Rob, Melissa, Martin, and Darcy all joining us as guests or visitors today. We do have a few announcements. So I'm going to say some things and then get out of the way so that you guys can see this. So as you know, this is one of President Stephen Hammer's initiatives, is to make sure that we are communicating fully on any activities that are coming up. And you can see behind me that we have a reading day coming up at Kenrose Elementary on October 12th. I'm sorry, the Rotary Leadership Institute is October 12th. And then we will have a reading day at Kenrose Elementary on October 14th. You can reach out to Roger Greenup. He is always looking for Rotarians to read to elementary school students at Kenrose. So if you have some interest and you have availability, then please reach out to Roger for that. November 8th, we have the District Rotary Foundation Banquet, and I believe that's the mid-year conference. So the Rotary Foundation dinner will be the Friday night before the mid-year conference. And then the following day, Jennifer Bourne and others will attend the mid-year conference to map out what the next Rotary year will look like for us. And then November 16th, we have the Owls Hill Sanctuary Service Project Day. So Banks Hickman has done a tremendous amount of work with Owls Hill Nature Sanctuary. We are going to be cleaning up trails. And so it'll be a great time to get outside, do some physical activity, all in the service of our community. That is at Owls Hill Nature Sanctuary. That is from 9 a.m. to 12. And then lastly, we have the holiday and anniversary banquet at Richland Country Club on December 6th. So I will step out of the way. Please make note of these. If you would like to take a picture of them, you're welcome to take a picture of them, because then I will call on Laura Troop to come up and talk about the Purple Pinky Donut Week.
I did not know much about Purple Pinky Day, week, season, and then started to do a little bit of digging. I got quite a bit of information from Dick Bowers, and we were just collaborating last week and thinking, what can we do to make this a bigger deal? Purple Pinky Day is a day to raise awareness for the international effort to eradicate polio around the world. Rotary has done an incredible job worldwide to make a difference. And at a club level, we can do even more. There is an effort to raise funds by buying donuts. And you can buy them and consume them yourself. And if you want to do that, please do. You can do that through the link that was sent from Kim last week. But if we want to pool our efforts, which I've already heard from some of you, and if you want to contribute toward a group effort to buy donuts, I will gladly go pick them up on behalf of the club, and we're going to pop up a tent in the community and give them away and use it as an opportunity to educate our community about why this is an important effort and what Rotary is, and kind of use it as a mini recruiting effort. So if you are interested in contributing, donuts are $25 for a dozen to raise the funds. That is multiplied by our district, by Rotary International, and by the Gates Foundation. So our $25 can become, I think, $137.50 or something crazy like that. So big bang for our buck. So if you're willing to contribute, see me after.
And just to add on to that, I don't know if you've ever seen a Purple Pinky donut, but they're they're a little creepy. They're a little weird. They're kind of like long, and then they've got a purple kind of end to them. And so you can do good while also having a discussion piece. Susie. Oh, well, that kind of takes away the whole discussion piece of it. So well, there you go. Well, I took them to work. I took the purple pinky donuts when they were long and they just had a purple end to them and nobody would eat them. But I did get a lot of conversation about it. And then we did raise money for the Rotary Foundation. So, or for polio eradication. So all good. Hey, thank you to Jim Villers for bringing my attention to this. Could you take the mask off of that? The announcements, please. Oh, that's my fault, Lennis. Point of clarification, that is a JV move by the president. I'm sorry, Lennis. So my fault. December 6th is not the date of the anniversary banquet and Christmas and holiday banquet. It is December 5th. If you've looked at your calendar, you'll notice that December 6th is a Friday. We will not have a meeting on Friday. Our anniversary banquet will be on December 5th. So make sure that you mark your calendars for that. Thank you, Lennis. You can now put up what was supposed to be up there. I have the opportunity to welcome Larry Kain, who's been a longtime member of our club, to the podium to deliver the wrap up for the golf tournament. Having been the most recent president of our club, I'm not sure that I have or any president has given enough attention or recognition to Larry Kain for, I'm sorry, Happy Bucks. Let's go back to that because we are going to be happy. So let's do Happy Bucks.
I knew there were a lot of happy people. So we had to, make sure we got into it. Who's happy? So there's that many. Oh, here we go.
Mike for a second. Last minute, we have trash pickup on Maryland Way tomorrow. So if you can't sleep and you want to come have a donut and a cup of coffee at 8 a.m., join Derek Martin and the rest in some of our club. About an hour and a half. So we'd love to have you. Can't make the cleanup you guys have in November. So happy to be here and happy to have a lot of friends in this club.
Wonderful. Thank you, Martin.
Yes, we got another one over here. Let's go.
Amen.
I'm doubling down on that. I'm happy that I paid Larry before I got to this meeting. Anyone else? Alan? Yeah.
You got a lot
Oh,
of
Alan's
Alabama
got one.
fans wearing
He
Alabama
does
gear
one.
that aren't putting any money in the
Alan's
basket.
got one, even if he does.
Yeah, there's a $5 and $1 goes to Kentucky. And yeah, what a defense. And $4 goes to Pete Rose, greatest baseball player ever. And I remember seeing Pete Rose. He was at a banquet and he was had questions and they asked some guy asked him and said, Pete, if you were playing today, what would be your batting average? And he said, probably 275. And the guy said, wow, pitching is that good? And Pete Rose said, no, you idiot, I'm 82.
I would think there'd be way more happy people. All right. Yes, we're back to you, President.
All right. Kip, thank you. I appreciate you keeping me honest and let me get back to what I was going to say is Larry Kain has transformed our fundraising model for this club. And so I think it would be difficult for any president to deliver enough recognition for the work that Larry has done. But for those that are still learning about our club, I just want to give you some perspective of what we've done. Historically, our club raised money through the sale of tickets to a community event called Pancake Day. And we would take all of that money and we would do our best to put that out in the community to other organizations that were doing good works, or if we could find some worthwhile cause to give to, we would raise the money from the sale of those tickets to give that money into the community. And Larry came to the table several years ago about an opportunity for us to significantly increase our fundraising and therefore the good that we could do in the community. And I'm going to mess up the numbers here, but I think in general terms, we were probably raising $30,000 a year or so, maybe $40,000 a year in the sale of tickets to our community event. But over the last few years, through our golf tournament fundraising efforts, we have raised well in excess of $100,000 a year. And that doesn't just happen. It takes a tremendous amount of organization. It takes a tremendous amount of work. And that work has largely fallen on Larry Kain. I think the greatest blessing that we had as a club is the day that Larry retired as a banker. Me as a banker, I appreciate that because it opened up his clients for opportunity. But as a Rotarian, it also opened up his time and his talents to devote to organizing a golf tournament that has been tremendously successful and has led to the success of our club. And every club president is grateful for what you do, but every Rotarian is incredibly grateful for what you do because we have the opportunity to do good work in this community because of the effort that you put into this. And so now this is the opportunity for Larry to come to the podium and outline the success of our golf tournament and to give us a report out on how we did. So Larry Kain, welcome.
Thank you, Drew. That was very nice. I appreciate that. You didn't get any of my clients though, did you? Thank you. So we started this tournament in 2017, and I used this picture at that time just to kind of get things started of two guys that love to play golf, and they're very happy doing it, and they have a fun time. You might recognize that's Jeff Brown and Charles Grumman, and in their younger days. But does anybody not know who that is? If you don't know who that is, be honest. Everybody knows. Oh, you know who that is, Kip. Oh. Bob Holt and Bing Crosby, having fun. They both had professional golf tournaments that they started and ran for years and years, and they were just big golfers. But they had fun. They loved golf. They were hilarious when you saw them on television playing, and what you see right there is kind of typical. So my whole point of this tournament, of our tournament, is to have fun, and that was why I put that slide up there originally. Which one? Whatever you say, Terry. Whoever said it. Okay, so it's hard for me to believe that we started this on April the 1st with the draft for our teams. And now it's been 6 months later and we're through with it. And this was our 8th tournament, as I mentioned before. We have to remind ourselves every year why we have this golf tournament. And so. Okay. How to work the slide projector. There we go. Well, we're enjoying watching Bing and Bob. Okay, so over this past year, you heard who didn't get up here? You didn't get up here. You heard that we got community grants given out this year and other grants of $130,000. And that came as a result of what we did, not only with the golf tournament, but some of us donated money to that. We got a little money from Pancake Day. And so just to put it in perspective, on the last 7 years, the tournament has raised $570,000. And that's the last 7 years. That's not this year. So to put that in perspective, we've given out $570,000 of golf money over the last prior 7 years to folks in our community. And that's a pretty strong reason as to why we have this golf tournament. This year, we had another successful event, as you will see in a minute. And here are some reasons why we had a successful event. 74 of you got out and sold sponsorships. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. 33 of you worked at the event that day under the tutelage of Susie, and that's a good workout. Some of you worked 2 shifts. One person worked 3 shifts. I'll mention her in a minute, but that's a great support staff, and we have to have that every year. It worked because you sold 63 new sponsorships this year. That's awesome. You'll see the sponsor numbers here in just a few minutes, but 63 new sponsors is great. We lose sponsors every year, no question about that. And so far, knock on wood, we've been able to replace those. And this year was a big addition, getting 63 new ones. It worked because Susie Lindsay, who I just mentioned, spent a lot of time putting together the people, worked out there all day long. And Susie, she's going to help me today, so I'm going to get her up here a little bit early. She's responsible for our 33 people that we had working, and that couldn't do it without her. It worked because Michelle LaFollette worked 3 shifts that day. She's the only person that did that. She's not here today, unfortunately, but that was wonderful for her to do that. It worked because Doug Wright volunteered to be my assistant that morning, which was the first time I've ever done that. And it was he kind of ventured out and said, okay, I'll do this. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do, but I kept him busy all morning long, and he was a great help. So Doug, it was great to have Doug help me that morning. First time I've done that, and it really helped. It worked because the A team, which you'll see in a minute, was spectacular. Everybody knows who the A team is. That's Curry, Jared, and Michael. And you'll see their numbers in a minute. They did another great year. It worked because the Villers, Jamie and Jim, again, spent a good part of their day out there. Jamie took care of all of our food for us. Jim sold a sponsorship or 2, and they did a great job working for us as a family, which was wonderful. It worked because Bob and Clay Searcy and Jennifer Shepard stayed around and worked 2 shifts during the day, which is good. Great to have them do that. It worked because George Johnson, for the 8th year, I think, came out early and set up all of our golf carts, which is a bunch of golf carts. So he did all that for us. I haven't recognized George, I don't think, before, but he gets out there early and starts putting all the stuff in the carts, puts the names on the cart and everything. And I have to thank Miss Troop also this past year for showing us how to get the stickers off the back of the thing. we were out there trying to get it off, and she walks up, she's, oh, you just did. Okay. It was neat. Yeah, you figured it out. And it worked because Lennon Sujas designed this presentation and all my other presentations this year, and he's creative, and he does a great job. But it primarily works because of you guys. It works because of what we do as a team. Drew was very nice to give me some credit, but all I did was kind of orchestrate it. You worked the event, you sold sponsorships, you played in the tournament. It's a team effort on our part. It took 6 months to get it together, but it came out pretty well, as you're getting ready to see. So I'm going to walk you through some numbers here and some information about the tournaments. I like numbers, and you'll see one particularly interesting number here in a few minutes that will make you interested. So I want to first mention our website. Yeah, our website, which we've had. This is a tremendous asset that we do not use. Now, we had 1,200 hits on our website between April the 1st and November the 1st. 1,200. We had 101 sponsors go on the website and pay for their sponsorship. That means I didn't have to handle it. Marie didn't have to handle a check. We didn't have to do anything. It went on the website, paid for it, it was done. 101 sponsors. So that's awesome, but it could be a lot more. It can do it. That website is something we don't use enough of, and we're going to work on that for next year, I promise you. It's a powerful tool, and we're glad that we have it. Every year we designate partners to be with us. The BRCCF selects 5 nonprofits that they feel are up to needing our help, and so we do that. We select those. They have to they have to sit out 3 years if they're selected. So we have new ones every 3 years. This is the 5 we had this year: Safe Haven, Bridges Domestic Violence Center, My Bag, My Story, Creative Vets, and Franktown Open Hearts. Each one of these charities got $10,000. And that's what they get for being our partner. We call them our partner because they're a partner in what we make in the tournament. So glad to help them out. I couldn't do the tournament without the help of my captains. And I'm gonna give my captains a little credit here. These guys and ladies volunteered to help early on. I went through the draft, put up with a ton of emails from me and other correspondence from me about things through the year. And so I can't thank them enough. So, Bert Bradford. Keeley Hall was here and left earlier. I talked to him. Stephen Hall. Where's Stephen? Hunter McCarty's out of town. Jason Halsey. Where's Jason? I thought Jason was here. Not here. Okay. Jennifer Ruan was not here. Mike Barrett's here. Mike. Bob Thompson, a new member that jumped in and did it this year. Bob's out of town today. Steve Huff is here. And last but not least, Tom Carr. So they spend literally 6 months communicating with 10 members of our club in different ways and their own styles, and they all have their own ways of doing it. And you're going to see something here in a minute that'll amaze you. But I appreciate all the work that you guys and ladies have done. Here's what the breakout of what the team sales look like. Okay, look at that number one team up there. Look at that. $18,400. But the bigger thing is 100% participation. Tom did a wonderful job. And I'll tell you what Tom did. And this is something that future captains need to learn from this. Tom contacted each of his individual members in his team with ideas of how they could sell a sponsorship. He kind of figured out while they were saying they couldn't sell one. And then he would say, well, why don't you do such and such? And he ended up getting everybody on his team well, you'll see that in a minute. Everybody on his team got a sale. The other teams are all pretty equal. But the big difference, as you can see, is the participation. 80 participation versus Tom's at 100. So big learning curve right there on what you can do if you work it like Tom did. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Let's look at Tom's team real quick. Figure out where all this. Huh? Oh, that's right. I know that's on there. Yes. By the way, the A team kicked in $46,550 on 52 sponsorships. So again, that's Curry and Jared and Michael, and I can't put them on teams because it would skew the teams totally. So the three of them every year have been up to doing what they do, and you'll see their individual totals in just a minute. So here's Tom's team. 9 of them, I believe, on his team, and you can see what each one of the members did. But the key thing is everybody got something, and you can see their big key right there is Tom selling at $11,000. Tom was the guy that did the just ask thing. He just asked 2 of his good buddies about what they could do for the club, and each one of them did $5,000. He didn't ask them for $5,000. He asked them what they could do to help, and they said, "How much do you need?" And I think he said 5,000, and they said, "Okay." So you just ask. You'll hear that before this meeting is over several times. But Tom, another great job. Thank you, man. I mentioned the volunteers and Susie and what they've done. I want everybody to read this and then memorize it. I won't begin to try to repeat it, but you can see this is the chart that Susie put together and the time frames that people worked, and then again who all worked. And like I said, we had 33 members work. several of them two shifts and one of them 3 shifts. So that's what it looks like at the end of the day. And that's what Susie sends me when she gets it all put together. So thank you all again very much. All you volunteers that did that helped. The Patriot Cup is a competition we have between the policemen and the firemen every year. And whoever wins it gets the Patriot Cup, which is actually a rotating trophy that they keep over there in their offices. And this year they tied. They both shot 66. So it goes back to the police department who won the year before. And so the police department retains the trophy this year. James isn't here, but congratulations to the police department for retaining the Patriot Cup. Okay, I want y'all to look at the police car. Now, I want y'all to look at this next chart. This is the kind of chart nerdy numbers guys like me like to look at. It's a breakdown each year, starting with our first year, 2017, of a number of different things that are kind of indicative of what the tournament has done and is doing. See, obviously, we get bigger and better every year. I want to show you a couple of things. Total sponsors this year, we had 205 total sponsors that I mentioned. 101 of those signed up online. So I think we have to go 104. That's versus last year where we had 183. So we're around 200 sponsors every year. Number of players are meaningless to me. The less we have, the better. We had 108. It worked out really well. The reason why I say that, I like to just run really fast. We get 128 players like we do out here in 21. That slows the day down. Not fun. Whole thing is supposed to be a fun day. Number of workers kind of settled in the 30 range. Participating members. 74 that we do last year. The lowest we've been in a while. See the for those numbers bottom about that later. Rotary related sponsorships. These are sponsorships that are our companies. You know, work for that. This is where this is where Larry brought in the blanket. That's rotary related. Non-rotary related are sponsors who have no relationship to a club or to a member. That's an important. And 15 are where individual members have written checks, individual personal checks for a sponsorship. What I want you to look at is 2019. We had a 90% participation from members. Participation they sold. You can see that's the highest we had by a good bit. What you want to see also is we sold 165 holes. Not even close. We had 153 non-rotary sponsors. The highest ever. So with that 90, what that tells me is 74, 72 members participating. We're not going to get close to what we did in 2019 with some very important things, which is non-rotary sponsors. Old sponsors. There's something to learn. So I want to show that to you. Make sure you see that 90% produce really good numbers. Let's see what we did. You can see on the left is the gross income the tournament brought in each year. Right is how much they BRTCF. So last year we had 2022 we had $120,000 paid, and that was because we had one large gift Curry brought in at $25,000. Did not have that gift 23, so we dropped off. Understand, have a large gift like that. We had a great year last year, 111. $11,157,000 total collected. Total collected. Now let's do the issue. 167. 24. Yeah, that's pretty darn good, guys. And great increase over last year was my goal every year, increase it over the prior year. Did that. 166, just a slight increase in the goal. But it's sold enough to get that up. So congratulations to everybody here. That's $124,000, a man that you got to spend on the BRCCF. Y'all should be very proud of that, by the way. That's a big number. So let's look at who sold those sponsorships and why we got $124,500 in income. I have a Champions Club every year. To be a member of the Champions Club, you have to sell $1,500 in sponsorships. We have 30 members this year of the Champions Club. So congratulations to them. I'm going to call your name. You can run up here and see if it's got something for you. Jim Villers. 1,500. Jennifer Shepard. She here. Yep. 1,500. Charles Grumman. Not here. Jennifer Bourne. Here. Keeley Hall was here. He's gone. Laura Troop. Miss Laura sold 4 sponsorships this year for her 1,550. Michelle LaFolette's not here. Lennis had 2 for 1,600. Norris Johnson. Norris here. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Norris. Norris had 3 sponsors, 1,600. Betsy Crosley. Betsy had 1,700, two sponsors. Lewis Rankin. 2 sponsors, $1,950. Thank you, Lewis. Past president Drew Rogers had 2 for $2,200. And probably one of the most powerful men in our club. I don't know if you know this or not, but the sergeant at arms is really a powerful position. That's what he tells me. So Kip Dobson is the sergeant at arms. And Kip had 4 sales for $2,250. And he is the most powerful man in the club. Right? Yeah. Steve Huff, $2,250, 5 sponsorships sold. Beth Normandy, 2,400. That's not here. Jason Halsey, 2,500. He's not here. Stephen Hall, 2,700. 2 sponsorships. Rodney Lund, not here. 2,700. 2 sponsorships. Patrick Wright. Where's Patrick? There he is. Patrick's always, you can always count on Patrick. He had 4 sponsorships for $3,100. Hunter McCarty's out of town. Hunter had 2 for $3,200. Wouldn't skip that guy. Devin McClendon. Devin's been a big hitter for us all the time, and every year he does a great job. He had 4 for $4,550. Thank you, Devin. And here's a guy that really got on the cart last year, and has carried it forward to this year. Bart King. Bart King had 13 sales, $4,900. Oh, and Bart had to leave early. That's right. He told me he had to leave early. Jeff Talley had 1 for $5,000. That's the Lattimore Black sponsorship that we get every year. Jane Covington, $5,000. That's the CSX sponsorship that we get every year. Ray Little. Ray Little jumped in with 5 sales for $6,950. Now we get into some serious numbers. Michael Kaplan, part of the A team. 9 sales, $8,100. Tom Carr, you've seen his number already. 3 sales, $11,200. Now remember that $11,200 because you're getting ready to see it again with a little different number. 30 2 sales. Jared Tanksley, $11,200. Jared concentrates on the whole sponsors every year, and he does a wonderful job of bringing those in. And those people are loyal to him. And he's got a list of people that he can go back to almost every year and get himself as much time as he'll take to do it. If I just get him to start a little bit earlier, that'd be the only thing. And the number one dog in the yard, no question, at $28,300, 12 sponsorships, Curry Andrews. So thank you all very much. Those 30 people brought in a total of $130,350. That's about half of what our total was for the year from those 31 people. So I'm at a point where I'm going to try to tell you what's next. And I don't know exactly how successful I can be at that. It's up to us. There's no other way to put it. I can't do anything magic or come up with something that's going to make it maybe we can do any better. I think we do want to do better. In my mind, we haven't even scratched. When you have 70 out of 100 members participate, and you saw the difference when I showed you the chart a while ago when we had 90 participate, what the difference was. So it's just up to us to get ourselves motivated to get out there and sell. Just ask. We had 10 members this year with 4 sales or more. 10. Just think if that had been 40 members with 4 sales, how much that would have been. You can ask any of those 4 or those 10 how they sold the 4, and they'll all probably tell you the same thing they just asked. Jared told me, I asked him, I said, well, how long does it take you to get a sale? And Jared said about 3 minutes. Really? He said, yeah, I just tell him. And you remember Jared came up one day and said, I've made this personal this year. Y'all remember that? And so he says, what Jared's pitch is, I want you to help me. Would you help me with something? My Rotary Club is having a golf tournament, and I want you to help me with the sponsorship. So now this person is not worried about talking to somebody in the Rotary Club who they may not know anybody. They're talking to their buddy Jared. And so it makes it puts it on a personal basis, and it works. It has worked for him, and it makes sense if you think about it. 70% participation, if we have it next year, we're going to be about the same thing we were this year. We won't have any big improvement. There's no way I can increase the value of sponsorships or something like that to make it where we're going to make more money with the same number of people. We've got to have more participation. So in the future, there is one thing we could do, and I've thought about it. It's kind of not risky, but it's a lot of work. And a double starting time, which means we'll have a starting time at 8 in the morning, the starting time at 1 o'clock. So you basically run 2 tournaments in one day. It doesn't affect your sponsorships because your sponsorships are for the whole day, but you do pick up 50 to 60 players that you don't normally have. And that's $17,000 to $18,000 right there. But it's a lot of work for the club because you've got to run 2 tournaments. Not that we can't do that. And I've shied away from doing it. I don't really want to do that, but that is an option, and it will get us more money in there if we're not going to sell the sponsorships like we should. Next year, we will have a golf committee. I had one my first year, and I hadn't had one since. I've decided I need help, and so I'm going to have a committee next year. I've had a couple of people already ask me about being on the committee, and they actually suggested some things to me, which I liked. So if anybody wants to volunteer, or that sounds like something you want to do next year, let me know. We will have a committee structure, which we did not have this year or prior years. So about this golf tournament, is it the truth? Yeah, it is what it is, right? Is it fair to all concerned? Yeah, we make money off of it. Our sponsors get what they want. The players have a good time. It's great. Is it beneficial to all concerned? Yes. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Jim? That a boy. So I'll leave you with this. How about in 2025, we have 85% participation from our members, 85, and we make $150,000. Okay, that's what I'll leave you with. Thank you. On another subject, I will remind you, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So if you have any connections with the Cancer Society or breast cancer, this is a month to be active in that. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you can't get away with just walking away, Larry. You're going to get a standing ovation because I think we are proud of $124,000 raised. That is the net raised that goes to the BRCCF. But I think more than anything, we are grateful for you and everything that you and Susie do to execute a tournament. I have gotten to see firsthand the creativity that Larry has brought to the sponsorship process. So if somebody's looking for a way to support the tournament, he's going to find a way for somebody to support the tournament. So as we look at 2025 with a goal of 85% participation and $150,000 net to the BRCCF, that's something that you can think about. And as you recall, when we started the meeting, and Larry alluded to this earlier as well, we gave $130,000 out to the community. That came in the form of scholarships to students. It came in the form of community grants, which are smaller ticket grants, about $2,500 a piece. And then it came in the form of major grants, some to the same types of organizations that you saw on the screen, and those are $10,000 each. So we were able to give away a significant amount of money, and it's because of the fundraising efforts that occur as a result of this golf tournament. So Larry, thank you for everything that you do, and Susie, thank you for everything that you've done to put such a successful golf tournament together. If you don't mind, please put away tables and chairs in stacks of 8 as you leave. I would like to again welcome Rob, Melissa, Martin, and Darcy. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you'll come back and see us again soon. And if there is nothing else for the good of Rotary, then we are adjourned.
Got it again.